Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Janine McGowan and I design cross stitch as the Blue Flower, and it's been about 3 weeks since our last get together. I got caught by the wildfire smoke and came down with a headache last weekend, so it's been about 3 weeks. I'm not sure if I'm going to release this on Saturday as per the usual schedule or later tonight because it's Thursday night for me, so happy whatever time it is, wherever you are, and I really appreciate you sharing your time with me. First up, we have Stitching in Action, and Stacy stitched up Forest Home. This was her first time stitching on linen, and I didn't hear back whether she enjoyed it, but she tried it, which is all you can ask from anyone, to try something and see if they like it. And yeah, I think she just did a fabulous job. She got drunk with power, maybe just a little tipsy, and chose a different fabric. She did 36 count Edinburgh linen in Winter Moon. I think it's a beautiful choice. And she used the called for and conversion DMC for this. And I just love the way it came out. So thank you for sharing that, Stacy. As far as what I'm stitching, I've been working on the Things of seasonal series from Posie. And I have finished, I've said this before, I've finished Things of Spring. I have now finished Things of Summer. And I have started on Things of Autumn. I'll put a little picture and I've got the leaf and the crow and part of the mug done. So I'm making progress. It is amazing when you actually stitch that it gets done. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the small motifs quite a bit. Okay. Stash Spotlight. This is something a bit unusual this time. I often get asked about my fabric, how much fabric do I have on hand, how do I store it, things like that. So I'm going to be a little vulnerable today and actually show you some of the fabric I have on hand. I don't have a local shop, as many of you know, and so I tend to keep a lot of fabric on hand because when I have a design ready to go out, I want to be able to go and pull something that will work and then send it out rather than trying to guess from online pictures and order a selection of things that may or may not work. So yeah, it's always tough to do from online, and it's tough to do when everything else is ready but you're waiting, and then if a fabric isn't right you have to change you know what, I'm totally stalling. I'm embarrassed because I have all of this fabric, but okay, I'm gonna do it. This here is a really heavy drawer. This is my main neutrals drawer. You can see I store these things in a wire basket, folded so I can easily see them from the side. And I'm going to put it down, because it weighs a ton. So I have a neutrals drawer, I have a blue and green drawer, I have a red and purple drawer, and I have a lot of fabric. So yeah, if you're ever looking for some and you live nearby, just come on over. If you like 40 count linen, you're in luck. If you don't, it's a little trickier, but I do have some other ones. Yeah, anyway, that's what works for me. I've revealed my embarrassing amount of stash, and thank you all for not judging me too harshly. Okay, on to World Around. This week it is the loggerhead turtle. Now, the reason behind this is I realized when I put out my autumn releases this year that they were both beach themed, and I think it's because I have just been wanting for so long to go back to the ocean, and I haven't been in years, and I've been really missing it. And so it turned out that I had two, not just two beach themed, but two beach themed with a loggerhead turtle in them, and I'll show those a little bit later, but I thought it would be a good opportunity to learn a bit more. So loggerheads are named for their large head and very strong jaws. They are primarily carnivorous, so they can use these strong jaws to eat animals that even have a very thick shell, like whelk or conchs and things like that. But they also love eating very soft jellyfish, and they don't have any problem with being stung because that mouth is actually a beak. It's made of keratin. It doesn't have any nerve endings in it, so they can chomp away on the jellyfish without any fear of pain. They are the most common sea turtles that nest here in the US, although the ones that we see nesting here very often spend a lot of their time across the whole Caribbean and Central American coasts. Once they're born, they spend about 15 years, maybe 7 to 15 years in the open ocean, and only after that return to the coast to feed and continue getting bigger. they can live quite a long time, 70 to 80 years, and they don't reach maturity until they're about 30 years old. So once they do that, though, and a female begins to lay eggs, she lays a lot of eggs. Comes back to the coast. They're wonderful navigators, so she will return to a beach very close to where she herself was born, and she will lay 100 eggs in a nest and lay 3 to 5 nests at a time. Then she leaves, and so those eggs stay in the sand for about 2 months. The temperature of the sand actually determines whether the hatchlings will be male or female. But then they're done. When they're ready, they start hatching, burst out of the sand, and sprint to the ocean to try and get out into that water and some measure of safety as quickly as they can. If you happen to be lucky enough to live in an area where sea turtles nest, I'm sure you know a lot of the things that can be done to help those sea turtles make it to the water, or at least to avoid hindering them by our presence or our confusing lights, that sort of thing. So it sounds like a pretty amazing thing to see. I've never witnessed in person hatching sea turtles, but it would be really pretty amazing. Now, they do face significant habitat loss because of certainly poaching, pollution, fishing issues, collisions with boats, and of course the perennial loss of habitat, particularly for nesting habitat. So that was just a little bit about those giant, beautiful creatures. I've never seen one in an aquarium that I'm aware of, so maybe if you know of a really reputable aquarium that has a loggerhead turtle, I'd really love to see one someday. So that was my little world around since I was designing loggerhead turtles without even being aware of it. Okay, this is actually a loop back from later in the video because I realized I forgot a section and the dogs were barking anyway, so I took the opportunity to come back. So questions. Last time the question was, what kind of animal would you like to see in a Christmas ornament? And I have to say, there were so many great suggestions. It was just wonderful. And I think I've decided, if possible, I want to do a collection, probably multiple collections of, I don't know, Merry Menagerie or Christmas Critters or something like that, because there were so many great ideas that I wanted to do. The question that I have for you this week is, what is your favorite birthday treat? And the reason it's on my mind is because it's my birthday next month, and it's one of those that ends in 0, so I'm actually going to have a party because it's a decade marker. And the thing that I always want to have for birthday, it just doesn't feel like a birthday for me, is unless you have cake. And so I've been practicing making cakes to decide which one I want to have for my birthday. So that's been fun and anticipatory. The current leader is a lovely carrot cake, so I think that's probably the one that's going to make it through, but you never know. And, that's been the excitement in our house. All right, best thing. I said earlier that I have been longing for the ocean, and I'm so happy to say that I actually get to go next month. So I'm going to take a quick trip up to visit some family in Oregon, out at the Oregon coast, and I'm going to put my toes in the ocean and then probably shriek and pull them right back out because that water is very cold, but I'm going to do it. And it also means that I'll be passing back through Portland right during the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit from Acorns and Threads. So if you are attending that event, I will be swinging by and I will get to see you, and I'm looking forward to that as well. And I will explain just how cold that ocean water really was. Hopefully that'll hold me for a couple years until I get the urge again. All right, moving on to video. Last week it was the 2 lovely designs from the Artsy Housewife. We had Vicious with this beautiful cat, and then we had Nature with this absolutely beautiful, I don't know if it is a butterfly or a moth, but lovely, lovely. And we had 2 winners. First off, for the cat is Marla A, and I'll put right below so you can see. It's a little bit tough with some of these. Then for Nature, the winner is Ann Robertson 8890. So again, I'll put this in there. Marla and Ann, just go ahead and drop me an email and I will get these in the mail for you right away so you can enjoy these lovely Artsy Housewife designs. Giveaway this video, 2 new releases. I seem to be doing this a bit backwards, but I have 2 new releases that are getting packed up this weekend to go out to shops. Again, both Oceans with a turtle. And so as usual, I'm going to pick 2 winners. If you use the word, surprisingly, turtle in your comment, I'll pick 2 of you for the next video, and you can have any one of my designs, including the new ones. Now, announcements. Those new releases are here. I'm going to take a break as soon as I'm done talking and show you the big photo, the proper one, but I'll hold up 1 or 2 of the littles. This first is Autumn Mermaid, and this is the main piece right here. It's this little pillow with all sorts of sea creatures. I have in this one, I have a little white flamingo because juvenile flamingos are white and they always seem kind of spooky and autumnal to me. But then here's our little turtle. So there you go with those, and I'll take a stop right now so you can see the big picture. And then this next set here is called Autumn Beach Postcards, and these were originally developed for barefoot needle art, and I had the idea of doing finishes just like a little postcard, and JoLyn at Acorns and Threads was kind enough to do that for me when all I said was, could you make it look like a postcard? So here's one of them. You can see just like a postcard you would send. There's the beach and the dolphins, and she even wrote on the bag. You know, it's a little bit hard to see, but there are better pictures online. You can actually mail these if you were feeling incredibly brave. I don't know that I would, but you can put them in the mail if you pay postage and get them stamped. So here's the other one, flying a kite on the beach with some seagulls. We've got a lovely blue heron here, and then of course the turtle with some Halloween jack-o'-lanterns in a palmetto. So there you go, and I'll stop here for a minute so you can see that one as well. Okay, back, and the next announcement, if you are in the Northwest Stitchers group, I'm very sorry that I'm not going to get to see you in Montana next month, but if you wanted to get the kit for the class, just contact Peggy because she has all that information, and since the supplies were already ordered, I'm going ahead to make the kits for that group. So if you're interested, contact Peggy and she'll be able to hook you up. There is a short puppy video coming, and that is it for me. You know, after 3 weeks, it seems like I should have more to report, but I've been working hard on my designing for Jingle Ball, which is coming along really well. I'm so excited for some of those things, and I'm also enjoying seeing so many of the beautiful Needlework Marketplace designs coming out. I'm not attending Needlework Marketplace, but oh, there's fun stuff. So yeah, it's very exciting to see all of these great new designs, and I know your shops are working very hard to get those in hand for you. That's it for me. We had a little break for circling back to something I forgot, and then dogs were barking, so it's a bit of a choppy video, but I think it's okay, and I hope you have a lovely 2 weeks. I look forward to seeing you again. I can't believe it's been 95 Flosstubes already. We'll have to do something special when we hit 100. That'll be closer to the end of the year. So if you have anything that you would like to see to celebrate that, just let me know, or any questions that you have. As always, it's been great to spend time with you, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.